Oh, there you go.
So, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about Whalebones?
Before that, though, Nathan, since I can't see you, can you just describe what you're wearing real fast?
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna hold you to it because I can see you.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, I'm wearing a pink polo, and I'm also wearing a black beanie.
Look, man, we talked about this.
Sorry, dude, it's my new look. It's just that I don't know.
He's looking good.
All right,
thanks. Yeah. I've got blown out skin because my monitor is so bright. It's just reflecting off my white skin and just
my white
blinding everyone.
Skin.
So yeah, I'm just doing that, and I'm drinking a Coney Island Brewing Company hard lemon lime twist.
Nice.
And it's delicious.
Did you guys talk about that too?
Wow. No, this is the first time hearing about it.
Yeah. It's my first time having one. And
you
it's actually
truly
really
are an elite man.
We just got the classic America over here.
Is that?
Yeah,
Bud,
that's just the king of beers. All that is. Maybe
it's not a big deal. No, I'm all about that American, made in America beer. Can't complain about it.
Owned by a foreign company, but whatever.
Well, yeah. So we don't have to know that. We don't have to know that.
How much was your 6-pack? Was it like a $13 6-pack?
Well, it's my dad's birthday, so that's why I'm not there right now. But so he got this. I don't know what it is, but it's a party expense. So it doesn't matter what it costs. It was a party expense.
It's all about the fun.
Yeah, exactly. So
I will pay you in fun.
Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, I'm just wearing pants, and that's about it. So.
Interesting choice for a Skype call. Huh.
It's a bold move.
So we got a few questions for you guys. Well, more than a few. We've got about tops off around 10.
10 whole questions.
We got about 34 and a half questions for you. So
can you answer do you have time to answer a short survey after the interview?
Absolutely. Survey is 3 times as long as the interview, but it's
I think it's right between those two.
But you get a coupon at the end, so it's okay.
Oh, okay, true.
It's expired though.
Off the next time that you're at this frozen yogurt shop that you're never going to go to. It's fine.
Yeah.
You got it.
I nailed it.
What happened?
What are you breaking?
I'm breaking my own stuff.
Oh, okay. So, can you guys tell us how Whalebones came to be?
I don't know if it did.
It was a dark and stormy night. Oh, yeah, Joe, why don't you take this one?
All right,
Yeah,
this
Joe,
one time
Joe,
I was
can you
riding this whale, and I was like, "Dang, this guy's got some bones, boy." Whale bones.
I tear up just every time I hear him tell that story. It's
I actually don't
kind of
know.
beautiful.
Why don't you tell me?
Well, I'll tell you how it started.
Got ghosts.
Squeaky door ghost.
So Paul and I met when we were in...
Real smooth, Dustin. Real smooth.
Anyways.
Paul and I met when we were in college. We both lived in the same dorm. And then from there, we just started playing music together. We found out we liked a lot of the same music, and it was kind of creepy how much we liked in common. And we were just like, whoa, this person knows, nobody knows about Secret and Whisper or some other band, or Circus Survive. None of my friends actually
Freddy
listen to
Krueger
that,
now.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were like, whoa, you listen to that? No way. And so we started playing music together, just jamming, and we play on the street. And then, that's basically it. We just played music, and then it happened. It occurred.
Dude, you maybe want to
Just,
date or something? I don't know.
fruition.
Tell me if that's weird, but kind of think we should date. We played on the street together, so.
That was when we peaked. That was the best.
Exactly.
The best moments.
That's the most money we've ever made as a band was on the street.
Honestly, that's not necessarily untrue. I'm just kidding.
Lotus Fest was kind to us.
One time we played on the street from midnight till 2 a.m. and we earned $2, which was enough to get some food from one of the food trucks. We got a mac and cheese, grilled cheese, which was delicious.
For $2?
Yeah, it was a deal.
College towns
right?
don't mess around.
They're like, these kids are broke.
Yeah, and then we burned his truck to the ground. It stole.
We took the food out first and then burned the truck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's your classic breaking and entering and arson and exiting.
That sounds about right, yeah.
It's the usual college experience,
Yeah, some people call that college.
Have you ever seen that movie, Spring Breakers.
We were in that movie.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, we haven't. I mean,
That's-
forgot we're on contract.
I-
Can't
These
talk about
college
that.
girls go on vacation and rob and murder people for a summer, and it's a great vacation for them.
And
The
it's
one with
also
Selena
relatable.
Gomez
Yeah.
and what's his face, James
Yeah.
Franco.
Yeah.
My dude.
The dude who directed that movie, like, that's his most like accessible movie. Everything else he's done is like super weird. He did a movie. I don't know if you guys know the group D Antwoord. They're like they're like from South Africa, and they make like house party music or something.
It's,
Whatever. I don't know.
if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, it's like weird, but
Yeah.
he did a documentary on them, and it's like completely made up, and it's like the whole entire movie they're in wheelchairs, and they like go and rob a guy who sells wheelchairs, and like is weird.
What
It's like,
the hell?
that's like the usual caliber of the movie he makes is like really dark, messed up stuff that makes no sense at all. And it's usually like biography oriented. But yeah,
Wow.
basically our life was that movie.
Spring Breakers, that is. Yeah, we just
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
a couple of hot chicks out on the beach.
Yeah, hanging out with Riff Raff.
Yeah.
Riff
Robin
Raff.
Banks. So, yeah.
I forgot he was in that.
He
We
wasn't.
saw Riff Raff.
He sued him for that movie.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
that's what it was.
He was pissed about that movie.
Yeah,
Well, then he was
it
pretty much in it.
It was pretty
Yeah.
incriminating for him. Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Joe,
he
was
made
it you and me who saw Riff Raff at Warped Tour, like riding like a four-wheeler with one of his friends? They were having like a four-wheeler race.
Joe's headphones are placebo, so he can't hear you. But
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I can't hear.
okay,
Oh, you can't?
Oh.
Shit.
Oh, that's all good.
dude.
What do you say?
He was talking about Riff Raff when we saw him at Warped Tour riding the
Oh,
four-wheeler.
yeah.
backstage.
I was hanging out with Nate when that happened. It's kind of seemed mean. I didn't like him.
He seemed like a scary boy.
Yeah.
He had
No,
metal
like-
teeth and
Like I saw people like waving at me. What's up, Riff Raff? And he just mean mugged him. Like he was like, why you talking to me, dude? You know?
Yeah, 'cause he's Riff
Don't
Raff.
talk to
I'm
me.
Riff Raff, bro. I don't actually know if that's how he talks, but
So, anyways. What are you guys' influences for the band?
Oh man, I think it varies. Like, Paul, you want to take this one
Mm.
at first? You want to take your part of it?
First, I want to thank Budweiser for making the greatest
Biggest
domestic
influence,
brand.
yeah.
bud.
I'm
Yeah,
glad I chose
um,
Budweiser. I'm
Yeah.
glad I chose
Right?
Budweiser. Exactly.
Yeah, speaking of influence, as for me, as far as the drums go, I was super influenced by like Seosin's self-titled record. So Alex Rodriguez, he's like one of my all-time favorite drummers. Really love Nick Peterson from North Lane. I think some of the stuff he writes is probably like some of the most innovative drum parts out there right now. They're faster players than him, and maybe more technical players, but nobody has his creativity in my opinion. So I think that was huge. And then I listened to like a lot of heavy stuff. So what was fun for me was trying to bring some of that influence and sort of blend genres. A lot of genres get super tropic, hence genre. And one thing that you see a lot in like indie rock or alternative rock is just really simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Right.
it gets, everybody can recognize the same 5 drum beats that float around in indie rock. So partially what I would try to do when approaching drums was borrow from like post-hardcore and metalcore and incorporate just enough of those elements to spice it up, but not too much that it's feeling disjointed or out of place or something like that. So in short, Alex Rodriguez, Seosin,
yeah.
Austin Thornton, Nick Peterson, Luke Holland. Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, Luke Holland is a hell of a drummer.
He really is. Yeah, he's one of the few people that has the ability to go as technical as they get, but chooses to dial it back and is just like, he's just an artist, man.
Yeah, he's actually out touring with Jason Richardson right now.
I saw him touring with. Yeah, I saw them on a tour not long ago. He's so good live.
Right?
Incredible. Yeah.
So much talent. It's stupid.
Arguably too much. One man shouldn't have all that power. But Nathan has a sort of different set of influences. Like we overlapped a lot, which is sort of how we'd met. Is like, oh, you like Switchfoot and Secret and Whisper and like, these 20 different artists that most people don't listen to around these dorms. But then, so he we have all that common ground on the Venn diagram, if you look at it that way. But then he's also got a section that I'm not as well versed in. Nathan, you can take it away and sort of tell him vocally and.
No, I want to hear what you think. I'm just kidding. what do you think it is? No, I'm just kidding.
Answer wisely.
Yeah, I guess like it kind of varies. You know, like as you grow in your writing, you start choosing different. You know, you just take influence from different things. So I think the first record was a lot of like All Get Out and Oceana. They had a record called the Clean Head EP, and that's really inspiring. And I think that carried over a lot into the new stuff, is sort of really jangly sounding guitars with kind of weird patterns that sort of carry on and don't necessarily follow a straightforward like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus sort of thing. Under Oath's Lost in the Sound of Separation has been really cool, just because it's I don't know. Again, it goes with that non-traditional like song forming sort of thing, and also kind of dissonant, gross chords that sound not as pretty unless you like understand the context of where they're coming from and how it affects the storytelling. As Cities Burns record, Come Now Sleep, is really cool. It's like, I don't know, I feel like it was really underappreciated when it came out, and I know I didn't appreciate it when it came out, but now it's like something that just has really stood the test of time, and I think it's really awesome. Yeah, I think those three are probably some of the biggest as far as the new record goes. But there's, you know, a bunch of small influences from a bunch of other different places that are pretty cool. Like, I think like vocally, maybe like Maynard Keenan from A Perfect Circle, or I don't know. You know, there's just, you know, you just sort of write what you think sounds cool, and there's a lot of different people that I get really stoked about what they're writing, and I think is really impressive. But I don't necessarily like recognize it as something that as like a direct influence, but it definitely like gets into the music in some way or another that I don't necessarily like consciously acknowledge. But yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. I think that's it. I'm like looking through my I'm looking through my Spotify to see like Copeland. I always love Copeland. Margot and the Nuclear So-and-So's, probably more so in like songs that aren't even going to be on this next record, but like continuing on, that's definitely a big influence right now. Circa Survive always, and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It just, that's music that I like to listen to, and so that's probably what influences me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Someone asked, do you guys listen to Pup? P-U-P?
I've listened to a few songs, but I just haven't given them like a real shot yet.
Yeah.
I know they were like hot a few months ago. Like that, their record came out, and people really liked it. But yeah, I know Peter really likes it all.
It was Summer Teeth, I think.
Petrov.
The guy from Summer
Oh
Teeth.
yeah, he did
Mentioned them. I listened to him after he talked about them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I know like that they're like one of the really respected bands in the genre right now, and I don't know, I'm just not hip on anything right now. It'll take me like 2 years to listen to like my favorite band's new record. You know?
Yeah.
Like Formidable Lakes put out a record, and to be honest, I didn't really like it that much, but it still took me a long time to even like start listening to it, just because I was so like slow on the come up. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Pup at all. I feel like them and Mew I'm supposed to listen to. Everybody always raves about those, and
Mew is dope. Like they've
So
been
I
around
hear.
for a long time, and they're just so. It's weird. Like you have to sort of like. I feel like it's an acquired taste, but it's cool.
Yeah, I like Muse.
Wait, we're talking about Muse or Mew?
Wait, did you say Muse or Mew?
Oh, Mew, like M-E-W.
Oh, Mew. Okay, yeah, I misheard.
Muse. Mew is sick.
Yeah, Muse is
Yeah.
good as well.
I
Yeah.
love Muse.
Muse sounds really happy, but like for some, you like start to wonder like why you're getting so sad while you listen to it. At the same time.
And then you look up and you see chemtrails everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Let's not get started on
Yeah.
chemtrails.
Please, let's do this.
I have an aunt and uncle that are just all about that shit.
Really.
Well, where is he? Why isn't he on the show? Got it.
So your current EP, I know you guys are in the studio right now,
Current.
but well, what you guys have released, I should say.
It's just a pun. One of the tracks is called The Current.
Oh, it is? So the EP you have out, The Seaside, has an interesting story behind the process of writing for this EP. Can you tell everyone about that?
We can't. It's top secret. No, totally kidding.
No, you can all fuck off.
No, it was a blast writing that. Essentially, what we did was, what was it, Nathan? Our sophomore year?
Yeah, it was our it was our sophomore year.
Yeah, so sophomore year of college, for spring break, we went down to a place called Seaside. It's in Florida. It's this tiny little town. It's like 80 acres in total. So it's super small, but sort of, I don't know. It's where they shot The Truman Show, if you've seen that movie. So very, very, like, idyllic and just, yeah, sort of quaint in its own way. But
That's actually one of my favorite movies.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
It's super cool.
Oh, I could go on for too long about that movie. But, yeah, we essentially went down and we had a goal. We're like, well, let's just, like, write an EP. You know, we've been playing on the streets, and it's like, let's do our own stuff, because we're both really internally driven and like creatively focused people. So Nathan and I've had lots of discussions about this in the past, but it's like, it's fun to cover people's songs and it's fun to, you know, play other people's stuff, but at the end of the day, like, it isn't fulfilling in the long term. And so we both, you know, writing is very important to us, as you know, musically. So yeah, we just went down, and for a week I brought my electronic drum kit in the back of the truck, and we stayed in this tiny little cottage, and Nathan hammered away at the guitar and structures of, you know, 5 songs, and I did a bunch of drumming. And yeah, it was really, really cool, because on the one hand, it was sort of a compact time in which to write an EP, but we also had no, like, hard deadlines, so there was no pressure. So it was also sort of chill, you know, we were just like walking on the beach, and it's like, oh, I might go back and, you know, do this or that, and maybe we'll be productive, maybe we won't. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. And at the end of it, we had the skeletons for the whole EP. And yeah, Nathan, I don't know if you wanted to add anything. But...
Yeah, I guess just that the area we were at sort of served as like a really good backdrop for just like the mood of the music. Like, every night we would go out, and it was us, and it was Paul, me, and one of Paul's friends, and we just sort of like walked along the beach at night, and no one else is out on the beach. Like,
yeah.
it was like 10 p.m. and no one else is out, so it's crazy. And we're just like walking around, like just looking off. No one's talking. Like, it's really relaxed. We're not like goofing off or anything. We're just sort of like really introspective, and just sort of like, I don't know. There's something about looking out at the ocean that really.
When it's pitch black out too, so it's, you know,
oh, yeah,
sort of as above, so below darkness,
right?
But also you can still tell there's like water there. Yeah, very
it's
like
just,
surreal feeling.
Right.
Absolutely, and it just sort of, you start to think a lot, and I don't know, you just start to really like become introspective about things, and so the whole EP sort of focuses on like, I have a lot of guilt that I feel for nothing in particular, just like for my own life, just. I feel like a guilty person a lot, and so sort of like addressing that and sort of like coping with that sort of thing. So that was a lot of my thoughts when I was walking along the beach, was thinking about that sort of stuff, and sort of like coming to terms with it, and sort of addressing different issues I had within that, and then trying to work through them at the same time. So compartmentalizing that into 5 songs and doing that as briefly as you can, you know. Yeah.
It's like, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I could probably write like 3 albums about that, but I sort of had to drop it off into 5 songs instead, just because that's what works. Yeah.
Hey, if it works, that's what matters.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we did the skeletons there, and then we recorded it at a studio in Bloomington, and we had this dude named Matt Goldman mix it, and he's like an idol for both of us for a while, just because of like the stuff he's worked on. So that was like a cool thing to get to, like, it's like a bucket list thing to like have done. Like, we've worked with Matt Goldman now, you know, it's like, oh, that's cool, you know, we sort of had that happen. I don't know. I don't know. That's fun. he's worked with like Under Oath, The Chariot,
Oh, nice.
Norma Jean,
Also, like Amber Lynn and like
Berlin,
Casting Crowns and like a bunch of
Yeah.
real,
Devil Wears
big-
Prada.
Yeah, he's been all over.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's a cool dude from our conversations, and yeah, it's just cool to have somebody like have their hands on it that has also had their hands on records that we both really respect. So
Yeah.
It's awesome.
yeah,
He's the godfather of my child.
he doesn't know that, but it's okay.
Child pending.
So, you guys are currently working on a new album right now.
Yeah.
Is there any certain inspiration behind it? Or?
It's a lot of focusing on as far as like musically, yes, those people that I mentioned, like Under Oath's Lost in the Sound of Separation is huge influence on, I guess, like a lot of the record, just because it's a lot less like standard as far as structure goes, but then also like conceptually it's more focused on like different like focuses on being alone, like either like feeling lonely or choosing to be alone or wanting to be alone or thinking other people need to sort of like experience being alone in order to like find out things about themselves. Or I'm looking at the track list right now to sort of figure out all that. And sort of, I guess, like the two focuses would be like loneliness or like the concept of alone, and then also fear, and sort of either not giving into that or rejecting that, or sort of like doing a little bit of like introspection on like why I'm afraid of certain things. So yeah, and sort of just coming to terms with that, or just sort of acknowledging it.
Yeah, it's like loneliness, alone, being alone, student loans. Whoa, where'd that come from?
Yeah. It's a lot of lone things.
Yeah.
So,
The student loans are making me lonely because I can't afford to do anything.
Exactly. Can't afford friends.
really bad. So yeah, but yeah. So that's basically it. It's gonna be about 11 songs, and yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a good time.
Tell everyone about
Yeah, we're gonna do a raffle.
right now.
Yeah,
You want to?
Raffle.
behind me.
I know, but we should do it after.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're doing raffles, so if anybody wants in on the raffle, win prizes, you just put in the chat. You just put in the chat just exclamation raffle.
Yeah.
That'll enter you. So, moving on from that, there are many different ways people write music, but there's always the dreaded writer's block. Everybody's had it. Can you guys give me advice on how to just like push through that and overcome it?
You're talking to the king of writers' block. This record's taken 3 years. I guess for me, whenever I get writer's block, I sort of notice that it's because I'm being too precious about the song.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of like won't allow myself to be creative because I want everything to be perfect, or I want everything to stay exactly as it is. Like I only want to keep the parts of the song I already have. And anything foreign or new sounds wrong because it's not what's been there in the past. So
Right.
I guess sort of like, I don't know if this necessarily would help, but for me, I sort of have to be less particular or less precious about certain things initially so that I can at least like completely formulate an idea, and then I can decide whether or not it's something I want to keep. But at least sort of not like being super like sentimental about a part until you have the whole song done, and then you can start being sentimental about it. But yeah, I guess for me that's the big struggle, is sort of always wanting everything to be perfect and not allowing myself to grow with it. But yeah.
Yeah. So Nathan and I have different writing approaches because we write different stuff. He writes like the song structures and the actual notation, and then I do the drums, and then for our other band I do lyrics. So I guess blocking presents itself more in like the lyrical end, but my approach to like blocking is to essentially just not pretend like it doesn't exist, but to treat it like it doesn't, and just sort of power through. And it's not for everyone. Like some people have to like, you know, absolutely feel in the moment, like, okay, I'm feeling ready to write lyrics, or I'm feeling ready to make this part of the song. But like for me, it's so obviously psychological when it happens to me that I'm, you know, a lot of times it's like, all right, caffeinate, do 20 push-ups, try it again. Didn't work, caffeinate, do 20, you know, just like sort of, and at least that way, you know, you shotgun some ideas out there and maybe they all suck, but at least they're flowing. And I think the adage about the first step being the hardest is so true, where it's, you know, once you, you know, it doesn't matter like what you're doing, but once you take that first step, like if you're a cold caller, once you pick up the phone and dial the number, the rest of it's easy. You know, that's never hard. Once you like open the Word document and start typing words for your novel, like that step alone knocks 90% of people out of the game. Most people will never finish a novel who want to write a novel because they're like, well, you know, never even opened a Word doc for it, and you know, never wrote the first chapter. It's like if you can get that first chapter down, it's like inertia. You know, if you force motion, the motion continues and it starts to feel more natural, and you start to get that like, you know, creative flow that you aren't feeling at the time or whatever, at least for me. So that's sort of my approach to it, is like just sort of strong arm it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you know, try again tomorrow.
It's good advice. Got to push through. Stay strong.
That's right, brother.
Watch the entire series of The Office straight through and then try again.
That's like perseverance in its own way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So do you guys have a favorite venue that you guys have played together?
That's a good question.
Augusta, Georgia was really fun.
That's what I
But
think.
that was like the show more so than the venue. Yeah, like to me at least, a lot of venues are interchangeable. It's like
I guess favorite show, really. I guess.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a favorite. Yeah, favorite show has probably been like Augusta, Georgia is like a great crowd. Like the people there just actually care about music, and it doesn't matter if they've like never heard your band before. Like there's this one guy who he'd never heard of us before. He never heard our music. He walked in, hadn't seen us even play yet. We hadn't even gone on, and he like bought a shirt, and we were like, okay. And then like it was just really cool. And then like after that, he was like really blown away once he'd seen us, just because he really liked music, I guess. So
he was like, I'm glad I bought that shirt.
Yeah. I would have hated to see him after if he really didn't like us, because that would have.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel like
you'd be like, no refund, sorry.
Sorry about that. We already spent your money. But like with the age of the internet, and like, gosh, especially the like more you're involved with the musical scene, it's just drinking from 1,000 fire hoses, and everybody and their cousin has a band, and they're not all good, and like, but everybody equally wants you to like their page and share, bro. Thanks, you know, subscribe, please. And so it's cool when you do meet those people that are like, yeah, you know, I'll go out on a limb and support these people. Don't know who they are, don't know if they're good, but like, I'm just
oh, nice.
Yeah.
But just people who, you know, love music to love music, and they're working to sort of to patronize it in the old sense of the word.
Yeah, that's super cool. I don't know if there's like a venue in particular, you know, where like the venue has stood out because of amenities they have or something like that, you know. Have we played anywhere with pinball, Paul?
No.
Oh, you know what was cool was that one
I
venue
would remember if we played with pinball.
Yeah. That one in Worcester, Massachusetts, we played. It was like a practice space for the dude from the hotelier or something like that. But like right next to it, they had like a bike shop.
Motorcycle chop shop.
Yeah, they're like repairing motorcycles, and they were like doing burnouts in the parking lot, and it was really cool. And there was like trains that stopped right behind the venue while the other bands were playing, so that was cool too. That was probably my favorite. And we went hiking that morning, so that was cool too.
Nice.
So everything was cool all around that area.
It's just a cool place.
Yeah, it was just
Cool place,
Worcester,
cool dudes,
Worcester,
cool music.
Cool
You
brews.
wouldn't have expected it. Yeah.
So do you guys have any advice to give to aspiring musicians?
Give up.
Yeah. Give up. Dude. Go learn how to use Photoshop instead of learning more chords. Like,
Yeah,
Go learn a trade and
Once
become
you
an
have-
electrician.
dude, once you have 4 chords, quit worrying about it. Once you can carry a beat, stop like practicing.
Right.
to death. you are wasting your time. Once you have 80% proficiency in a skill, you are wasting your time if you're spending like 3 hours a day practicing. Like nobody in this day and age makes it based on like hyper merit. Like there's no such thing as somebody so talented.
But it's short. It's gonna be short lived. Like I feel like that's a total trend.
Even then,
all the shreddage stuff.
Well, that's not even talent though. That's just like rote memorization. But it's like even if you have like an incredible vocalist, it's like that is not good enough. You know, there are a million really good vocalists who should all win The Voice and should all go on to sell a bunch of records. And the economy can't support that.
I never cared like those shows. Just because you can sing doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, all of them can sing. Nobody gets on that show and it's like, oh, dude, he's terrible. It's like, no, they're all incredible. They're, you know, there's a million people better at whatever you're doing than you are. But, like, make your difference the fact that you did it. And, you know, half of that, it's like, you get bands who have these, like, homemade logos that they whipped up in Word or in Microsoft Paint. And it's like, you know, your marketing matters so much if you're serious about being in a band. And obviously the music matters, but like that's a given. And people like you shouldn't be like, oh yeah, like we practice a bunch. It's like obviously you should do that. Like that's a requirement. That's like, yeah, dude, I take my keys with me every time I drive my car. I'm so responsible. It's like, yeah, you can't not, but yeah, like go learn how to use Illustrator or Photoshop or something. And that's what kills bands is not being able to, you know, spread the word or, you know, promote themselves by themselves. If you have to hire out, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Right.
Yeah, going off of that, I think like just as far as mindset goes, you really need to take the entire like image of your band as a part of the art. So whether that be the booklet or the artwork or the logo or how you perform or how you carry yourself in front of people, all of that is part of what you're presenting to people. So if you want to be a musician, that's fine. But if you want to be a successful band, you want to be a successful band, not a successful song or a successful record. You want to be the entire thing. Like that to me, like it would be, you would be selling yourself short or being shallow or something if you just focused on the music itself. Like obviously that's probably the hugest part of it or the largest part of it, but everything else really plays into it. And you know, we don't just like pick like the album art. Like I didn't just pick those photos because they're aesthetic or something like that. They fit the mood and they felt intentional and sincere. So I think that applies to everything. Is like it needs to be something that's intentional and sincere. And yeah, so I think that's important. And then another thing, as far as just like the state of music today, I think my piece of advice would be that like you don't need to be out playing shows every weekend selling merch in order to make money. There's plenty of ways on the internet to make money and to build a following that way.
Better ways, in fact, yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. Look into passive income if that's something you're interested in, but that's like a great way to sort of grow as a musical act and be able to support yourself in what you're doing. Yeah, so.
Nice.
That's what I say.
Advice.
Yeah. It's, yeah, I was going to say something, and now I don't remember what it was. Listen, yeah, whatever Nathan just said. Focus on the whole deal, not just a part of it. You know, a lot of people want to be successful. Like, I don't know. There's the romantic idea that it's like, if you write a dank enough riff, dude.
Dank riffs.
Then you just get signed, and then you just get famous.
Totally, bro.
It's over. Yeah.
It just works out that way, I know.
Yeah, that's just never the case, you know? So it's like, you're, yeah, I don't know. It is a business, and people hate to hear that, but it's like, if you're going to be responsible and a successful band, it's like you have to treat it like your music is your product, your audience are your customers. If you don't answer messages from your customers, they're going to hate you. Like, you know, the simple concepts that go with a business that they like directly apply.
Right. Yeah, you gotta build the brand before somebody's gonna label or something's gonna
exactly. It's like, you know, there's no company in the world that would spend $2 million in research and development and then spend, you know, $50 promoting their new like prescription drug. It's like it's the other way around. It's like you spend 10% doing R&D, 90% is marketing. So it's like that's the exact same deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna ask a different question. So if you got something to say,
Well, I was just gonna say, like, if you really believe in what you're giving to people or what you're like sharing with the world, like, you should have the strength to like actually advertise it or like promote it in some way, as opposed to just throwing it out and hoping it sticks. Like, you need to put some work into that aspect of things as well. So
Yeah, MySpace is dead. You can't just put a song online and maybe like be successful.
I only post to MySpace. Is that a problem?
That's our new.
That's actually the
If you're posting to MySpace and still using Zune, you got problems.
I got a Zynga.
Excuse you.
Nobody's reading my Zynga page anymore. I don't understand why.
I haven't
was
seen
using
up
it
until
up
March.
until, like,
Yeah.
Oh,
last
goodness.
year, yeah.
Yeah.
He was on that grind.
He's a Zoom boy.
I was looking through some band's Facebook page, and they had a MySpace link, and I was like, "What?"
Why?
I was
Why
like-
even waste your time anymore?
Holding on
Unless-
to
I
it.
mean, maybe they're trying to predict the like resurgence wave. Like, oh yeah,
Maybe
MySpace.
MySpace.
is
Well, they
post
tried to bring
2019,
MySpace back.
They
Like they
did.
revamped it and
and gutted
just,
it.
yeah, just
Like, oh
it was
yeah,
awful.
you remember all those followers you had? They're gone now.
Yeah.
Maybe MySpace is paying them to like, hey.
all those followers are gone, but
what
here's
money?
some crazy asshole pictures.
Yeah, right.
Shit, MySpace.
I wasn't allowed to have a MySpace, but
Same.
like, I had one for my band when I was in 5th grade. So I
It
just
worked
used
out.
that as my personal. Yeah, I snuck around the rule.
Man, you're missed out.
I know.
Missed out.
I was on it. Don't
What?
worry.
How
I was
old are
listening.
you?
I'm 23.
What?
16. That's 23. Or I am 23.
23.
Lucky.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember
it's
when
been
I
a
had
great year.
MySpace.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how old I was when I had my MySpace.
I would have been like 2006.
Oh, so I would have been a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I had it before that. Like,
Oh, sick.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure it was like, that's when I got into it. It was 2006, but I was a kid who didn't know anything. I was a loser, so it was probably like.
That's
already
weird. I was
done
not a
by the time I
loser in
did it.
2006. I was really.
I was
cool.
the coolest kid. I was the coolest kid in
I
school.
had the sickest bands on my braces back then.
I had the blackest hair,
Yeah.
and I had the sweetest band
Was Pure
T-shirt.
Volume ever actually cool?
Was what?
Pure Volume. Because I was on there
Pure
like.
Volume.
Careful
all the
who you
time.
say that around, bud.
Pure Volume was the coolest thing ever to me, but
I think
I
Cody
don't know.
still uses that.
What is it?
yeah,
Pure volume.
Probably.
Yeah.
I know he uses
Yeah,
that.
somebody just said pure volume. They're like, check out my pure volume.
I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever
people,
went on there.
They're wanting to hear your music, so we just got a couple quick questions for you, and then
Oh yeah.
Let's do that.
we'll.
Slam it up.
Slam
You got
it
the
up.
next one?
Sure.
Yeah.
This one. Do you guys have any shows coming up?
For you
Tomorrow.
guys tomorrow, dude.
Tomorrow.
Oh, actually tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Indianapolis. There's
Yeah.
a yeah. You can tell him, Nathan. You know the deets better.
There's two companies. One's called Circadian Coffee, and then there's another one called Black Coffee. No, that doesn't sound right.
That's a brewing company. The other one is.
Oh, it's a brewing company. Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking Brew Coffee, so I thought that's what it was. But yeah, so there's a big block party tomorrow in downtown Indianapolis. I think it's like $15 to get in, but you get like 2 drink tickets and you get like a food ticket as well. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. So the ticket ends up paying for more than itself, and it's Black Circle Brewing, and yeah, so. And then there's music playing the whole time, and it's sick. So we'll be playing there like a 40-minute set.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, there's a bunch of other people playing. One just of note is Chad Lear. He's really cool, and he makes like really good acoustic music. So I think he's just performing solo, and it's gonna be awesome. So
And then Whitechapel's actually after him. So
yeah,
Oh, really? Making some
But
bold moves.
mixing it up.
It's a
It should
bold
be a
move,
good time.
Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. So you guys
Yeah.
brought a song with you today for everyone. Can you tell us about the song before you go?
So Paul, I put Exhausted Forgiveness on because
Nice.
everyone not everyone's heard any of our music ever, but this is the like underdog song that I feel like was dope, but it didn't get the love that it should. So starts out all acoustic for a while, but then it builds up and it turns into like our heaviest song on the record. But this song's essentially about worrying about other people. So the whole record's about like forgiveness and stuff, but this song's about like worrying about the forgiveness of others as opposed to the forgiveness of yourself. So yeah, it's got gang vocals and claps, and it's got the whole 9 yards as far as the whalebone sound.
Strap in, kids.
Yeah.
I love a good clap.
Yeah.
Right on, man. I'll get that added in here.
Cool.
But let me see here. Stop that.
Acoustic pig squeals. Somebody just commented.
That's about what it is. Yeah.
That would be badass. All right, well,
Cool, go for it.
Yeah, vocals aren't tracked for the album yet, Nathan. Looking at you.
Yeah, it could be pig squeals. No one
Yeah.
knows. I don't even know.
well, here it is. I don't know if you can hear on his end or not, but
Can they hear me talking right now, or
yeah,
This song.
we're on air still?
yeah.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
Shut up.
I think I cracked my head when I fell off the deep. I think that my heart was numb when you found me and I was asleep. So I let you just pass me by, and you passed me by. I let you just pass me by. Bag on my knees for release as she sings. I don't love you anymore. I can't love you anymore. Bag on my knees for release as she sings. I don't love you anymore. I can't love you anymore. Exhausted forgiveness for my love that's been incomplete. Discover my shipwrecked heart, salvage all that you can keep. Maybe there's something left inside, semblance of good I could not hide. Where would I run when from your love I could not hide? I run to
Song's over.
Song is over.
Just to let you know, people in the chat
It was
really
popping.
like it.
I peeped it because that's how I see Joe and Paul is through the stream, and somebody said that it sounds like Taking Back Sunday, which is very flattering. Very much
Only if it's
appreciate
him
it. TBS.
before like a year ago when his voice went to purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, we got H with Kazay up in here. I know who that is.
Uh-oh, Kizzle's in. But yeah, guys, thanks for definitely taking time out of your day to
Hell yeah, dude.
chat on the phone. And, you know, Paul and everybody drove up here, so.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us and
Yeah.
for being so on it about like organizing this and everything.
Dude, I'll be here.
Oh, you're
It's gonna
welcome,
be
man.
fun.
I mean, I love your guys' music, so I definitely wanted to get you guys on.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks for having us, dude. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
We'll mail you some pizza.
Thank you. Yeah, I see it's sponsored by Hotbox. I'm bummed.
Nathan,
Yeah.
you want to slice? Oh,
Yeah, if you can bring it, if you can just bring it
Here, dude.
tomorrow.
It'll be there in 5 to 7 business days.
That's fine. That's
but it's
I
also
can
going to
do
be a poop.
Can I ask one fan question?
Oh, we have a fan question.
I have a fan question.
Sorry, who
What
are
did
you?
you think of the Emoji Movie?
Who let this man in?
Oh, God.
We said no fans.
Did you see they rated the Emoji Movie with emojis?
Did they really? Was it just the
Yeah.
crying laughing?
But it then they were like, all right, we really got to review it.
They
But
got
yeah,
the
0
one with
stars.
teeth that's like,
Oh man, who okayed that movie?
George Lucas, actually.
Wait, really? Oh, wouldn't surprise me. at this
Might as
point.
well.
Yeah.
No, it was Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Michael Bay explosion.
Explosive fun for the whole family.
All right, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Really appreciate
yeah,
it.
You
thank
bet.
you, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Anytime you guys want to come back on, you get that EP done, or is it an EP or is it a full length?
It's a
full length.
Oh,
Yeah,
Big boy.
Details.
yeah, definitely. When you guys get that ready,
Oh, for sure.
let us
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
and
it's,
we'll,
Absolutely, yeah.
Unfortunately,
back on.
I don't think I have an actual video feed, but I'd show you my wall has all like the check marks of what's done and
I
stuff.
can. I
There you
can
go.
see
Make
you,
a list.
and that's
I don't
all that
believe you.
matters.
Okay, well here, let's see, I'm opening
Let's see,
Skype.
spin it
back up.
around.
I can't. My computer stops there.
Ah.
Just sort of it.
Man.
What a
Sorry.
tease.
Move the
What
desk.
a
I know, I know.
tease, man.
I know.
Hear the
But,
desk?
Yeah, it's yeah, I have a desktop. I'm a loser. So but this is you're in the studio right now. This is where the guitars are being tracked. So
You got me all excited. And
yeah, most of the guitars are done. So pretty far. But yeah, anyways,
right on.
cool.
Well, I'm starting to get too drunk for this show.
Shout out to music everywhere.
Music is good.
I'm starting.
It's great.
I'm losing it. I'm going downhill.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
So yeah, get a hold of us sometime
Absolutely. Man.
when you get all this shiznit done.
Shiznit.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you go before I say anything really weird and stupid.
Dude,
so.
say weird. I want to stick around for the weird stuff.
I'm gonna
It's gonna get weird.
All right, dudes.
All right,
take
see
care,
you
man.
later, man.
Take care.
All right.
God, I hate that guy.